Once a staple of the Premier League, Watford now probably wish they were back amongst the yo-yo conversations. Instead, they're a club on the decline. Having sacked manager Ismail after a terrible run of form, which included leaked images of Coventry's manager, hoping he was still in charge when they faced off because of just how bad a manager he was, the Hornets have now appointed midfielder Tom Cleverley as interim head coach. And to make matters worse, their Italian owner, Gino Pozzo, is facing 12 years in a Spanish prison after tax evasion claims. Watford, yeah, they need my help. It's time for a rebuild. So as we take over at Vicarage Road, here is the default starting 11 we are given by FC. It's really an interesting one. There's some young prospects, but for the most part, there is some serious work to do in this side. And at the time of recording, Watford sit 14th in the championship table, just 7 points away from the relegation zone. It is going to be a delicate balance for them this year to not get relegated, with their hopes of making the playoffs evaporating quite quickly. Getting into our work early here though, lads. I'm changing the formation so we no longer need defensive midfielders. We're going to cash in on Ido Kiembe as we send the defensive midfielder to Leicester City and immediately make a huge signing here for our midfield. We definitely need to get some younger players into the midfield to pair up with the Canadian midfielder Kone. But I want us to also get decent rated players that are going to help us push for potential promotion back to the Premier League. We're going to sign the American midfielder Gianluca Busio, bringing him across from Venezia for £6.2 million. Trying to get rid of some of the older players that aren't going to even make the starting 11. Ken Seymour off to Royal Union St. Galois. And one of my big priorities for this season is to get a star striker for the future into the squad, which means we're gonna loan off another striker first. Toby Adeyemo off to Wimbledon for 2 years, but this is the one we're talking about. Bayo off to RB Salzburg for £2 million, and we're also gonna have another player loaned out. Matty Pollock could be a stud for us in the future. We're gonna loan him out and get him some game time at Club Bruges, and we get our new star striker. This dude really interested me, Nikola Krstovic. He's Montenegrin. Our Italian owner did tip us off on this guy, told him to take a look at him applying his trade in the Italian league. His value goes down a little bit when we sign him, but that's the way Watford is going right now. We are here to turn it around, and this dude needs to be a key part of a promotion push. Some Watford fans might not like this, but I think we need another upgrade in between the sticks. So the Austrian shot stopper Daniel Bockman off to Celtic for £1.3 million. And we've acquired the services of a man that knows just how to get a team promoted to the Premier League. It is the former Fulham shot stopper Marek Rodak. I've seen this man win countless promotions with Fulham, and I want him to work that magic with us. We get him on a cut price deal, given his desire to get more game time and his lack of time remaining on his contract. Marek Rodak, welcome to the #1 jersey at Watford. We've gotten stuck into our work here at Vicarage Road, but will it be enough? Let's see what the first half of this season has in store. That's the Mr. Rebuild effect, lads. We are in the playoff hunt. We currently hold the final seed into the championship playoffs by 1 point, but there is room to move. We 4 points, like one win could put us up to 4. It would take a massive run for automatic promotion, and I mean, we could easily fall out of the playoffs, but we are in the hunt nonetheless. But the question is, do we have enough to hang on? Yes, we do. We are finished 5th here in the championship with Watford, only 8 losses all season. We were only 2 points away from automatic promotion. That is such a tight top 6. I mean, Leicester just absolutely run away with it, but we are now in the playoffs. Either us, Leeds, Southampton, or Norwich. 4 yo-yo clubs there. One of us is going up to the Prem. Why not us? We've got Southampton in the playoffs. We're at home for the first leg. Can we lay the foundations and get ourselves to Wembley? We do! Kone is going to give us a 1-goal advantage heading down south. Oh my God, we are. Okay, let's just hold on down at St. Mary's. As long as we don't lose, we will be going to Wembley. Of course, quick fixture turnaround, so the lads are knackered, but I imagine so are the Saints players. Are we heading to Wembley? Are we heading to Wembley? We have been... What? We have been absolutely destroyed. Nah. 4-1. It goes to extra time. We lose 2-1 in regular time. Dennis gets a red card in what's going to be the final game for him at Watford, given he's only a lone player. And Southampton turn it on in extra time. We have absolutely bottled that. And Southampton didn't even get promoted. Leeds United, weren't they 6th? No, Norwich was 6th. They were 3rd. But Leeds United have been promoted up to the Premier League. The sides getting relegated, though, down to League One are going to be Rotherham, Ipswich, and Millwall. That is so ironic that Ipswich get relegated, given how good they're doing in real life. Fulham have won the FA Cup. Man City win the Carabao. That is one hell of a first season, though, for Nikola Krstovic, the Montenegrin striker. Up +4, which is incredible to see. 19 goals. Dennis getting 17 goals. He's only on loan. Big question whether we want to go in for him again next season. Although, given the red card in the playoffs, that might leave a sour taste in a lot of fans' mouths. I'm going to be saying goodbye to 4 players, though, at the end of this first season. Jamal Lewis and Emmanuel Dennis leaving back to their parent clubs. Ben Hamer and Jake Livermore, their contracts are going to be expiring, and probably they're going to be heading into retirement. Despite the playoff heartbreak, this season is still an overwhelming success. Our first one at Vicarage Road, we have laid the foundations. Next year, we need to make that final push for promotion. We're extremely weak coming into season 2 at the left back role after losing Lewis. So we're going to kick off the season bringing a left back into the club, a player down from the Premier League, and that is going to be Ryan Giles joining us here from Luton Town. The 75 rated left back joins us for just over 6 mil. And I also want to get a big improvement at the left wing spot. Samuel Kalu came back to the club. I was debating playing him there, but we definitely need to get someone higher rated and even younger. So we're sending the Nigerian midfielder off to Southampton. Another man that came back from loan that we're going to cash in on. He's decently rated, but our midfield is our strongest part of the squad. So we are going to sell Imran Louza to Feyenoord for £7.1 million. That's going to really come in handy. And whilst we wait to negotiate for a new winger, we're going to send our young Colombian striker Jorge Cabezas, I guess that's how you pronunciate it, off to Genk on a 2-year loan. And that loser departure has basically helped finance the majority of this transfer. We pick up the Portuguese winger David Costa. His value goes up when we sign him. 76 rated. I'm hoping this guy can bang them in for us. I'm hoping he can eclipse what Dennis was doing for us at the left wing spot last year. Our Danish third string striker Mileta Rajovic off to Hull City on a permanent transfer. And I did not want to make this transfer, but Jeremy Ngakia has requested a permanent departure. I was going to give him the starting 11 spot. I mean, he had it last year, but he's off to Granada. It's not the biggest killer in the world, though, because we had João Ferreira come back from his loan spell at the start of this year. So I'm just going to give him the opportunity to be the starting right back to start this season. I've been weighing this one up for a hot minute, whether we wanted to upgrade from our Georgian attacking midfielder, and we decided to. Shinta Appelkamp is going to join us here. That's a huge value going up. Good. It's good to see the stigma around the club going up, but we need high-rated players if we're going to get ourselves up to the Premier League. We're competing with the clubs that got relegated from the Premier League, so they're going to come in with a huge advantage on us. So to get an upgrade to a 75 German youngster in Shinta Appelkamp could be the world of difference. The team is looking absolutely phenomenal, fellas. Let's see where we're sitting on the 1st of January. I'm going to keep a really close eye on Ferreira because we might still have to make an upgrade at the right back row. This is actually better than what I was hoping for. I was hoping for this exact situation, but what I expected, I did not expect to be top of the league right now. That is brilliant. The relegated sides from the Prem are Sheffield United, Burnley, and Luton Town. So far, we're ahead of all 3 of them, but we need to keep our foot on the gas and get ourselves. I would love to win the league. That would be a great way to enter the Premier League. Ferreira just not growing as much as we would have hoped. To be fair, Ryan Andrews is growing like a madman. But do I want to give Ryan Andrews the starting? Honestly, nah, I'm going to look to get an upgrade at right back. Celtic are going to help us out tremendously on our path towards a new starting right back. João Ferreira heading up there on a permanent deal. 3.5 mil, which is more than I expected. There it is, fellas. A new right back. I'm actually pumped about this. We have our matchup against second place Middlesbrough in 3 days' time, and we're going to get a star right back in, a star in our eyes at least, before that game. 76 rated Max Aarons is making the jump down from the Premier League at Bournemouth down here to Watford in the Championship. We have paid £8 million for the Englishman, and I'm hoping he's the final piece in the puzzle that can win us the league. Screw it. Let's have a look at this massive game. First place Watford versus second place Middlesbrough. Aaron's debut for the club. Can we get a huge step? Yes, we do! Off the bench. our Georgian attacking midfielder, Chuck Vedards. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, mate. But he gets us the win. I should probably put some respect on his name and learn how to pronunciate it. But that is a huge step towards winning the league. Dust off the trophy cabinets, lads. We have won the championship. We're going up to the Premier League, and we've done it in fashion. Just 6 losses all year. Centurions as well. 11 points clear of Sheffield United. Watford are back, baby. Watford are back. Who got relegated? I just want to see some big teams get relegated. Not big teams. Chelsea win the FA Cup. Burnley have won the Carabao Cup. And Middlesbrough, this just kind of works well. Middlesbrough battling us for the title for the majority of the season. They end up dropping to 3rd, but they still get promoted to the Prem. Nikola Krstovic is going to be entering the Premier League absolutely firing. 81 overall, 25 years of age, 30 goals next to his name. But can he keep this great form going in the top flight? Big year of growth though for Asprilla. I was watching him closely coming into this season. He had age on his side, but his overall was definitely a lot lower. He's gone up to 77 overall at age 21. He could be here for the rest of his career. Only one player will not be joining us in the Premier League, however, and that is going to be Tom Ince. I would have been open to re-signing him, but at 33 years of age, he's decided to call it a day. Premier League bound though in season number 3, and our objective is one thing and one thing only: avoid relegation at all costs. I've been trying to sell this guy for 3 years. He gets to the Premier League and then he says, nah, I'd rather go back down the divisions. James Collins off to Derby. But coming into this season, it's glaringly obvious we need some big upgrades to our 2 centre backs. We're going to sign the Spaniard Mika Marmol here, making the move across from Las Palmas in the Spanish leagues. £20 million for him, a cut price deal, and our first in this new Premier League era. There aren't too many players that I want to sell on permanence this year, but there are a fair few that I want to loan out. A lesser known one, Ford here, off on a loan to Spezia for the year, but a somewhat maybe surprising one, Ryan Porteous. He's been our starting centre back. I don't want to sell him on a permanent, but I really want to upgrade him, so we're going to send him off on a loan, get him some game time, keep him happy, then consider selling him next year. Our second centre back has joined us, Santiago Bueno, the Uruguayan defender. He's got Premier League experience. He's joining us from Wolverhampton for £22 million. Really trying to use the free agents list though to our advantage, trying to save some money on a transfer fee, bring in some backups. Backup goalkeeper in here, the Polish shot stopper Lotka joining us, and Tom Ince retired, so we have to get a backup right winger in here. The Ghanaian winger Osman Bukhari, who can also double as a backup striker, joining us also on a free. I've kept about £10 million in our budget and just made the 2 signings of the 2 defenders here. I am prepared to make some big business happen in the window, in the January window, but I'm really curious to see how we're sitting come January 1st. Are we going to be entrenched in the relegation battle, or are we going to be feeling pretty good about our chances? I'm hoping we're not going to be in the relegation dogfight, but I've mentally prepared myself that that's probably going to be the outcome. What? What? We're 4th. We are 4th in the Premier League right now. Nah, this is ridiculous. We are 4th. Okay. We are 3 points off a Premier League title. What is happening? We have got the most goals in the Premier League. We're not keeping them out though, which makes me think we might be wise to try improving something in the defense so that we can potentially win a Premier League title. Yeah, I said that correctly. Win a Premier League title in season 3 with Watford. All right, we're on 36 points. We are 4 points away from mathematically being safe from relegation, and we're 20 points clear of 18th place Sheffield United. I don't think we've ever done this well in the first season of a rebuild in history. I mean, I was thinking maybe we go and get ourselves a new goalkeeper, but Rodak is up to an 80. I'm going to keep the faith with him. Giles up to a 78. I mean, our defense 81. Aaron's is a 77. We might honestly be better off going in for another right back. But then again, he's got 3 assists to his name. Lads, we might just be better off keeping the faith and seeing if this team can win a Premier League title in the first season in the Premier League, or at least qualify for some sort of European football. I mean, our coaches are looking good, but I think I'm going to invest some money into just improving the coaches even more and giving ourselves every chance of winning this title. Oh, we weren't even close, man. We've dropped off massively in the second half of the season. 6th place with Watford, but you know what? That is incredible. First year in the Premier League, 6th with Watford. That would have to be one of the best first seasons in a Premier League we've had in rebuild history. This is a rebuild for the history books, and we are looking so good for the future. I want to see the stats of the season though, because we're going to have some clubs circling for our top players surely next year. Man City did win the Premier League though, as we all expected. And as we scroll down, Wolves, Forest and Middlesbrough get relegated. Man City do win the FA Cup. I would love for us to go on an FA Cup run. I mean, we haven't really, I know we made the 5th round in like season 1, but besides that, it's been pretty pathetic. Spurs win the Carabao Cup. First look at the Champions League for this video. Bayern Munich beat Man City. Man United win the Europa League, which I'm fairly confident we're going to be in next year. And Arsenal, it is almost, if Man City beat Bayern Munich, it would have been all English domination in Europe. Kristovic has kept his form going. He's brought it over from the Championship to the Premier League. To be fair, our front three have all had crazy good seasons. 23-2 for Kristovic, 18-5 for Yasser Asprilla, the most underrated player in this video so far, and David Costa, 15-6. That is beautiful. So we're here, season 4. We expected it, but it is confirmed. We are in the Europa League, and I want to go as far as possible in this tournament. We've been able to leapfrog, hopefully leapfrog. We could always regress, but we're on track to leapfrog a lot of the pain that comes with a rebuild like this, where you're struggling in the Prem. We've gotten straight in, come 6th. We've got a nice little boost to the budget, and I want to use that to our advantage. Because if you've watched my rebuilds for long enough, you would know just how deathly terrified I am of second season syndrome. Giles and Aarons really helped us in the past few years that they've been here, but we need to take things up a notch. We're going for the Turkish left back, 30 Kadioglu, who we're signing from Napoli for £36.4 million. And we've got ourselves a brand new right back. He is one of the hottest prospects in world football at the moment. It is the Northern Irish man, Connor Bradley, who is joining us from Atletico Madrid. £20 million, which is an absolute bargain. Selling off one of our former backup defenders, Sirialta off to Leicester City. Toby Adeyemo off to Southampton on loan. We're going to cash in though on Max Aarons. We're going to say thank you, but goodbye. He helped us get up to the Premier League. He helped us have a great season last year, but we're going to sell Max Aarons to Aston Villa. And the same sentiments apply to Giles. He helped us through a really treacherous position in the club, really treacherous era, but we are saying goodbye. Selling him to Rayo Vallecano, 15 mil is a really good profit. Big season ahead of us, lads. We're making great progress. The starting 11 is now officially all into the 80s. And the big thing I like with a lot of this squad that we've built at Watford is our bench and our reserves are pretty decent for this, like the period we're at, especially our bench. I'm really excited, really proud about the squad we've built. Of course, we are in the Europa League. This is our group. There's some big name clubs here. Lyon, LASK from, I believe, Austria, and then one of the most famous European clubs, Lech Poznan. I'm really curious to see how we balance playing both Europa League and Premier League, and if that's going to affect us in the Premier League. Again, selling those players means we have a little bit of money to operate with in January if necessary, but in a dream world, we win the Europa League, we finish top 4, and by any means, I don't care if it's by winning the Europa League or via the Premier League, but I just want to be playing Champions League football next year. The seed was mentally planted last year when we were inside the top 4, and it is consuming me right now. Oh no. Oh, no. We have got second season syndrome here, lads. 14th right now with Watford, 26 points. We're 11 points ahead of Sheffield United. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. We are a couple of results away from being back in European contention, but man, it's not looking great either. I didn't want to be 14th at this point. Please tell me we're doing all right in the Europa League. All right, that is, I guess the fixture congestion is hurting us because we have put all of our effort into the Europa League at this point, and we're probably going to have to double down onto that. We currently have topped our group in the Europa League. We'll see how we go. I was so confident we were going to have to sell off Marek Rodak to make this happen, but we have signed Marco Carnesecchi here on a cut price deal without selling Rodak. Wait until you guys see how much I signed him for, because we have had to literally scrape pennies. Like, I was out there asking players to throw gold coins into a bucket for us because we needed every single cent we could to get this man. Marco Carnesecchi for £90,380. Yeah, I was going to say, if that didn't get an A rating, I don't know what would. He immediately becomes our second highest rated player in the squad, and I'm praying that that's going to make the world of difference in the Europa League and the Premier League. We miss out on Champions League in the Premier League. It's a nice turnaround compared to 14th, but we only finish 6th here, which means it's another year of Europa League football unless we've gone ahead and won the Europa League. Newcastle win the Premier League title. Relegated is going to be Palace, Leeds, and West Brom. Luton Town win the FA Cup. We lose to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final. That is not a good omen. The Champions League goes to Real Madrid, but it's time for the big one. How'd we go in the Europa League? So, round of 16, we beat Borussia Dortmund. That is a massive scalping. Huge confidence booster. Quarterfinals, we lose 4-1 to Marseille. Marseille beat us in the Europa League quarterfinals, and Marseille go on to win the damn thing, which gives me a little bit of confidence, but still that is frustrating. And Fiorentina are going to win the Conference League. 26 goals, a career best in the Premier League here for Nikola Krstovic. 86 overall, Costa 18. Asprilla, not his best season, but still pretty decent. Man, overall, I'm disappointed. I thought this team really had a shot at qualifying for the Champions League. One player leaving us on a free at the end of the season, that's going to be Ashley Fletcher. But we need to turn everything to 100 and do everything we can to get to the Champions League for season number 6. Santiago Bueno has stalled in his growth. We need somebody new if we're going to take this next step. Pierre Kalulu is the man for me. Haven't signed him in a long time in a rebuild, but the Frenchman joining us here for Monaco for £50 million. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that might be a club record. This was not a transfer I was planning on making, but when I got this offer in, I went into negotiations with Roma and I said, all right, I'll sell Costa if we can get a crazy amount of money. We get £60 million for him, which I will take all day for a 83 rated 26-year-old. That's going to hopefully allow us to get out in the market now and sign a world-class top 5 in the world winger. We're also going to add even more money to our budget. Santiago Bueno out of the club, linking up with Ange Postecoglou for 28 mil. Add another 20 mil to that, lads. Oh my God, we have sold Marek Rodak here to Man United. I almost said to Fulham for £20 million. He was a great servant for us, did incredible work for us in between the sticks. But his sale is we could get somebody sick, man. There it is, fellas. For the second time in this season, in this transfer window, we are gonna break Watford's club record transfer, and we've broken it by a considerable amount. You've all pieced it together by this point. If you know ball, you have at least. But we are going to sign Martinelli from Arsenal, the Brazilian winger, 88 rated at this point of the career mode. He's going to come in, and our front three is ridiculous. Our front three has every Premier League, Europa League, Cup side in their boots, just shaking beyond belief. Martinelli joining us for £94 million. Ridiculous amounts of money just getting flung around the shop in this transfer window. It's been our biggest net spending season, and this is the team that we are left with. Is it going to be enough to get us Champions League football? Personally, I think if we don't get Champions League football with this side, then we're never going to get Champions League football. This team is primed and ready. Let's win the Prem. Let's win the Europa League. Let's win a cup. I want to win another trophy here. Come on, Watford. So apparently, despite finishing 6th, we're not in any European competitions. How the hell does that happen? Is that because of the way that the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and everything fell? Luton Town is in they won the FA Cup, didn't they? I mean, we're not even in the Conference League. That is so frustrating, man. Not even in the Conference League. All right, we're putting all of our attention into the Prem. There are no excuses. 100% focus on the Barclays. For the first time in a long time, we are sitting inside of the European football spots, but sitting third. I want to be first. I'm going to be totally honest. I want to be first, and I don't feel exactly comfortable when I look down and see Man City, Liverpool, Man United, even Newcastle breathing down our necks. So I'm in the process of looking for a backup left winger. I'm going through the championship. Crystal Palace have Marcus Rashford, and he's playing in the championship. I can't afford him at the moment, but that is just hilarious. I thought I'd point that out. But we have found ourselves a backup left winger to come in the side from Plymouth Argyle. It is going to be Bali Mumba, a solid backup here if anything happens to Martinelli. I'll take it, lads. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. We remain in third, but it doesn't matter because we have qualified for the Champions League in season number 6. We've been, it's so funny how we got to this position so quickly in terms of wanting Champions League football, but it's taken us so long from that first year in the Premier League to actually qualify. Arsenal win the the league. Brighton, and like, I'm so surprised that ourselves and Brighton managed to hold off Man City, Spurs, United, Liverpool, all the teams I listed earlier in the season. Down the table, Chelsea 9th. Relegated is Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest, and Burnley. We lose another cup final. This year we lose the FA Cup final to Man City. Are we ever going to win a domestic trophy? Arsenal go back-to-back in the Carabao Cup. PSG win an all-French Champions League final. Fair play to Monaco. I'm still so mad that we didn't make it to the Europa League this year, or even the Conference League. Dortmund win an all-German final, and I was hoping it was going to be an all-another nationality final, but Frankfurt beat West Ham. This man is so consistent. So damn consistent. Nikola Kistovic, 24 goals. Slightly disappointed, not gonna lie. Martinelli only 12 goals. And then where the hell is, Sprilla? That's a poor season for his standards. I mean, we've had a lot of consistency around the board, but man, I want us to light this league on fire. Gonna let 2 of our lower rated players walk on frees. Alfie Marriott and Jack Greaves leaving on frees. And then Wesley Hote, I tried to renew his contract. It didn't work out, so we're just gonna let him walk as well. But we need to go all out. It has taken us so long, but for season 6, we're in the Champions League. Our budget's looking good. Our starting 11's looking good. And our bench was looking good about 3 years ago. I've definitely neglected that for the most part in the past few years. So we really need to get it up to scratch. Toby Doyle coming into the club here. Man City, back up center midfielder. I really want to get players for the most part that are utilities. Doyle can come in and do a job for us in the midfield. But this signing right here personifies everything we're after. Calvin Bassey, the Nigerian, can play center back and left back. We definitely needed a super sub striker though. So we're going to go all out here and sign Gianluca Scamazza, 83 rated, 29 years of age, Italian striker, tattoos coming out the wazoo. We pay 34 million to bring him across from Brighton. I'm feeling really good about the side, lads. I've kept some money. We've got about 50 million pounds still chilling there. So if things aren't going well and we don't have the season that we quite expect, I can still make a huge transfer. But I mean, our lowest rated player is 85 rated. They're both in the defense. I'm feeling good, man. I've done this long enough where I can get a feel if we're going to win a Champions League or not. And if I was a betting man, I'd be putting money on this. Those odds and my vibe might change a lot though once we check out our group. All right, I think I'm staying at a pretty even keel with it all. This is a very balanced group, but there's no team that stands out as the team that's going to be number 1. We've got the Yellow Submarine, Villarreal, Nice, and Copenhagen. Copenhagen, of course, made it to the knockout rounds in real life, but EAFC is a completely different game. Let's go see if we can get out of Group F. Yeah, the confidence, we're feeling good. We're feeling good, lads. Top of the group. It was a close group. I mean, Copenhagen have been the absolute whipping boys. But we finished first. 1 loss, 1 draw, 4 wins. But it all could go down the drain. Round of 16, be kind to me, Champions League gods. We got Fenerbahce. There could be worse. Fenerbahce is not a walk in the park. Nobody's a walk in the park. If you can make it to the Champions League knockout rounds, then you deserve to be here. But Fenerbahce is it's one that I'm willing to call. But for the life of us, we need to get back to the Champions League again next year. Winning it this year is not a certainty. It is not a guarantee. We need to keep our heads screwed on in the Prem. Moment of truth, fellas. The lads are firing on all cylinders. We're away in Turkey, taking on Fenerbahce. A trip to Istanbul, one of my favorite cities that I've traveled to in real life. Here we go. Can Watford get a win in the first leg? No, we don't. We dominate them statistically, but Renan Lodi is going to make this tie very interesting as we head back to Vicarage Road. The lads a little bit more ruffled in the feathers, certain players following that first leg. Can we get a massive boost here and get ourselves through the quarterfinals, or will this season end in heartbreak, in terrible circumstances? Oh my God, we win it on penalties. That has definitely got me feeling a lot less confident. Despite us getting through to the quarters, we've gone to penalties. Martinelli saved us. Martinelli saved us in the 86th minute. That is not a great omen, but it is all okay. We're through regardless. Let's put this one to the side. Refocus. We're alive. But we go to penalties with Fener. Nothing will get you to wake the fuck up more than a drawing with Real Madrid. We cannot perform even an inch close to how we played in those legs against Fener. We need to make the most of our opportunities, because I would be surprised if we got 8 opportunities against Real Madrid like we did Fenerbahce. It doesn't get much bigger than this, lads. First leg, we're at home. Maybe the biggest game in Watford club history. Let's just set the foundations. I'm nervous, lads. It's the Galacticos, and it is a 1-1 draw. It looks like it's a bit of a dull game. The two Brazilian left wingers are going to score, and we head back to the Bernabeu with this one squared up. 6 days after our first game. We've had a massive week here. Madrid at home, Manchester United away at Old Trafford in the league 3 days ago, and now we come to another famous world football stadium, the Bernabeu. This would make it all worth it. The lads have had a big week. This would make it all worth it. It is all worth it! Oh my God. Now that is met. Kristovic misses a penalty in the 28th minute. He gets subbed off, and in the very same minute, our summer signing, the man that I described as a super sub when I signed him, lives up to that nickname. Skamatsa is going to score a goal with what I would assume is his first touch of the game. We travel to the Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid in crazy circumstances. Oh my God. That has blown this tournament wide open. We've got Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League semi-finals, an all-Italian clash on the other end of the spectrum, Atalanta versus Juventus, but we need to focus on ourselves. We've got so much confidence now after taking down Madrid. Let's see if we can carry it over. First leg on the road, we need a big result here, lads. We have not delivered in any of our first legs. All of them have been draws. I want to win here. We're traveling to the world famous Signal Iduna Park. Can we lay the foundations? Watford, it's another draw. We are just destined for first leg draws. Kone with a yellow card. I am praying he's not suspended for the second leg. All right, good. He's not suspended. Not suspended. Perfect. Oh, this is big, man. We've worked so hard to get to this spot. We've worked so hard to get to this spot. Built out an incredible side, taken down Real Madrid, Fenerbahce, some other big clubs. But it comes down to this, man. All tied up after the first leg. We're the home team, but we need to win. A spot in the Champions League final on the line, and we get it. I feel more relief than excitement. Trent Alexander-Arnold gets a straight red card. Martinelli and then Kristovic in extra time is going to deliver, and we are headed to a Champions League final. I see that down the bottom, 24th minute, Kadioglu with a yellow card. I'm praying it's not a suspension, but I'm just grateful to be in this final. And he's not suspended. Perfect. Kadioglu is not suspended for the final. Atalanta could not pull it off. Their tie ended up 5-4 in the favor of Juventus, which means we are versing Juventus. I almost said Turin. We're versing Juventus, the old lady. Champions League final, season 6. Can we make Watford European champions? Taking a look around the grounds, Hoffenheim are going to win the Europa League. Lyon win the Conference League. We have snuck in by 1 point. Champions League football coming back to Vicarage Road next season if we don't win tonight. But man, we are so lucky that that's the case. Liverpool do win the league by 16 points. And as we scroll down, Fulham, Southampton, and Swansea have broken the record for the worst Premier League season. Spurs win the FA Cup, and Man United win the Carabao. So much pressure on us tonight to win the Champions League title. Our window is open. You never know when you're going to get back here. We need to make sure we make the most of it. I'm taking things nice and slow here, lads. Feeling out Juve. They've got a star-studded side. We just need to make the most of our moments, to be fair. Enzo Fernandez playing that one there to Vlahovic. He has a terrible shooting angle, and we've diffused that one nicely. Got a bit of momentum here on the counter. I should have probably held that up a little longer, but it's Asprilla, the man from day one, the Colombian. Finds Bucio, who I wasn't even going for, but that finish was disgraceful. Great ball. That's exactly what we're after. I'm going to go early. Bit of space here. Applecamp just driving through. Squaring. That's not what I was going for, but Bucio's there. That's twice that I've gone to square it to the other person in the box, and Gianluca Bucio has received it. And it's worked out incredibly this time. I was trying to cut it back here to Kristovic, like right there on the penalty spot. But we end up going across the face of goal. And this time Bucio finds the open net and gives us the lead here. Good ball into the corner there. We're killing them on the counter-attack. Kristovic, I need him in the middle. I need this to switch over. Good skills. Driving. We're going to get a corner. Need to make the most of it here. Asprilla, the Colombian. Putting that one in there. Martinelli can't get to it. It comes out to Bucio, the goal scorer. Blocked by Coleman. We've been pinning Juventus back into their own half so far in this second half, but we cannot give them an opportunity. Adli gets on the other side there of Kadioglu. Do not let him get a good ball in there. Good block from our Turkish left back. Still options. Who is marking that man in the center? Vlahovic. What are we doing there? I don't mind if the centre back wants to take a shot. I don't want Enzo though. Good save, Karnaseshi. I was hoping we could stop it from going for a corner, but it goes for a corner. Juve really starting to find some momentum in this one. Karnaseshi comes off the line. Superman dives, just get it away. We've got the overlapping run, which is a risk to get Bradley out of position, but let's see if we can make it work. Bussio's got space. Not a good angle. Come on! Krstovic! That's what we wanted! He deserves it. He deserves a goal in the Champions League final. Our Montenegrin magician is going to get a goal here, which is surely going to make Watford European champions. Don't let them get even a whisper in this one. Oh, what a tackle from Kalulu! And that is the perfect ending to the Champions League final and the rebuild. Watford have turned their fortunes around in real life, a club that is uncertain of the future direction of their club. But in this reality, European champions. I'm really proud that we managed to keep a large chunk of the core, like a few core players in this starting 11. And one of them, the Canadian midfielder, Collinet, is going to be the man to lift the Champions League trophy with Watford. Lads, this was such a fun rebuild to make. If you enjoyed it as well, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here if you want to check out another video.